Carsey here. This question, Georgie had her roof repaired and she was late in her payment, so they put an extra 2.5% on her bills, on her bill, the swines. So she had to pay eventually a total of £977.85. So that's what she would have paid, 100% of what she would have paid, plus an extra 2.5%. Asked how much she would have saved had she paid on time. So let's look at what happens. There's a charge, the whole charge, 100%, plus this extra 2.5%. So she's eventually paid 102.5%, which we know is £977.85. So let's lay it out like this, that 102.5% of what we're trying to find corresponds to £977.85. Now, just think about this. If we, for instance, if we know the cost of 20 of something, to find the cost of one of them, you'd divide by 20. If you know the cost of 40 of something, to find one of them, you divide by 40. If we know 102.5% of something, to find 1%, we'd divide by 102.5. So whatever this comes to, that would be 1% of what she would have paid. Now we're trying to find the whole of what she would have paid, 100%, without this little bit of extra. So if we know 1% is whatever this sum of money comes to, then 100% will be this sum of money times 100. We know the cost of one thing. How do we find the cost of 100? We multiply by 100. This is the same principle. So whatever that sum comes to, we're multiplying it by 100. So there's the secret of solving this. We do this calculation. So let's just get the calculator out and see what on earth happens. So 977.85. We divide it by 102.5. Remember, that's finding 1%. And then we multiply that result by 100 to find 100%. So there we have £954. Presumably, to check this, if we're correct, then if we work out 102.5% of this, we should end up with this sum. So let's try that. 954, if we find 102.5% of that, we're multiplying by 102.5 divided by 100. And we're back where we started at £977.85. So that's a double check that we're okay. So £954 would be what she would have paid. Now, we're not asked for that. We're asked how much she would have saved had she paid on time. So she would have saved the difference between £977.85 and the £954. So we have to subtract from this the £954, and we get £23.85. So that's how much she would have saved had she paid on time, £23.85. That's Mr. Carsey signing out. Hope you enjoyed the video.